Let's open the new Snake Mountain, compare it to the vintage Snake Mountain, and look at the origins of Snake Mountain today on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. The first mention of Snake Mountain may have been on December the 1st, 1982, in the Masters of the Universe Bible by Michael Halpern. Quote, Skeletor led them to his lair beneath the twin peaks of Snake Mountain. Around one of the crags twisted a terrible carved snake, a portal along the snake's back until it reached the fanged mouth. Entrance here entrapped the incautious stranger, for once a person stepped into the snake's jaws, they snapped shut, thrusting the trespasser into an almost inescapable dungeon. A footbridge connected one mountain with the other, where a blood-red waterfall cascaded over crags, blasted trees, and murky swamps. Skeletor's chamber hid behind blood falls, and only he knew its entrance, its traps and snares. The lair itself was a dark cavern dripping with venom. In one corner, its eyes blazing red, its tail twitching, sat Skeletor's pet and charger, the giant cat Panther. Its purple fur glistened as its muscles rippled when it stretched out iron claws from the mighty paw. It's worth noting that the first episode of the Filmation cartoon, Diamond Ray of Disappearance, was actually written a bit before this on December the 30th. It also appears as if Snake Mountain was added to this cartoon later. In most other media, however, Skeletor's stronghold was called Point Dread, and the 1983 Filmation series guide described Point Dread in this way. Quote, Point Dread is a craggy peak emerging from the Eternian Ocean. It is an extinct volcano with a tunnel leading down to a fantastic, ruined Atlantis-like city, hidden beneath the ocean floor. Inside Point Dread, Skeletor keeps all the treasure he has plundered from 1,000 worlds. There are also mines and construction sites waiting for the slaves Skeletor plans to take once he has seized control of Eternia. But the heart of Point Dread is the great council chamber, where Skeletor summons the sinister masters of the universe. Here, Skeletor sits on a raised platform above the round table, where gathered the likes of Beastman, Merman, Trapjaw, and Triclops. In the end, Point Dread became the magical outpost of Castle Grayskull, whereupon the Talon Fighter was perched, also which could locate from the top of the mountain to the watchtower of Castle Grayskull. Snake Mountain became the fortress of Skeletor. In December of 1983, when the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon debuted, we were introduced to Snake Mountain for the very first time. It was an imposing structure, featuring a large pointed peak punctuated with jagged teeth with a giant snake carving around it. And beside the peak was another smaller peak with blood falls flowing in between them. Inside was a bone throne with a table with a magical globe for spying on enemies. The interior was actually depicted as a labyrinth of twisting passageways. Skeletor would often stand in the open mouth of the snake carving to overlook his dark domain. Snake Mountain was trademarked by Mattel on August 15th of 1983, so it was probably around this time that Mattel started working on the playset. Colin Bailey's initial design for Snake Mountain incorporated two concept pieces: the Monster Walker, an unproduced evil counterpart to the heroic Dragon Walker vehicle, and this untitled trap-filled playset concept sketch, which features a collapsing bridge secret tunnel. Bailey's concept was combined with the abandoned design for a jungle adventure playset to become the final design of Snake Mountain. According to the 1987 style guide, Snake Mountain was the talking mountain of evil. The style guide even gives the mountain several characteristics that were never used anywhere else. Power. Ultimate evil power center, which commands and controls Skeletor and his minions. Character profile. Snake Mountain is the home base for the evil warriors. Within it resides the horrible spirits, the lords of destruction. It is from these wicked spirits that Skeletor and his henchmen draw their evil power. A baffling series of catacombs are built beneath Snake Mountain. Exploration there has been limited. Even Skeletor is fearful of what may reside there. If you enjoy these videos, please help support this channel by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It really does help. Also, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos or live streams. Alright, here it is. We're going to get it out of the box now. Here we have Snake Mountain, all done. Okay, here's the front side of the Snake Mountain. And I'm going to turn it around and let you see the back side. There's that wolf head in place. Here's the bridge. Here's the escape tunnel with the vines hanging on it. Of course, we have the snake here, which has some articulation. It does move up and down like this. It moves like this. The jaw articulates and the head moves around.
turning it around. These are kind of rubbery here. They look pretty substantial. I may replace mine. Here we have the pool of acid with the little creatures in it. There's a little rock back here that's removable. Here's the bone throne that comes with it. Pops on a peg. Behind it you can see the sticker that looks like the device for the voice changer from the original one. I'm going to put that bone throne back on its little peg here for now. I'm going to try something here in a second. Of course, the wolf head is removable. There's 2 slots here, and there's 2 tabs, and this slides in there once you get this piece here on. Once this piece here is snapped on, it's on for good. You can't get it off. Here's the wolf head. It turns around. We got our old spider up here. He's got little holes in him so he can go different places, such as underneath the wolf head. He can hang out there if you want him to. There's various little places that you can peg him. You can peg him over here in this corner if you want to. That's kind of a cool place for him. I think I'm going to leave him right over there for right now. You got the little moat creatures. You can take them out of the acid if you want to. You can move this rock around. Let's grab a figure. We probably need Skeletor in there, so I am going to pull out old Skelly. Alright, there's old Skelly. So let me move the camera down just a hair here so we can see Skeletor hanging out in there. Now, something I was concerned about, because I want to see how this scales. First, here's the bone throne. It's a whole lot bigger than that bone throne. So let's take a look and see how they measure up. And let's see how Skeletor sits in them. Here's the bone throne that came with it, and I don't like the way his head hits against that skull back there. Check how he sits in this bone throne. Kind of like that. Now that bone throne probably won't fit up here too well, so that's not where he's going to get to sit. But what it does do is it gets that sticker out where you can see it. Now, the next thing that you got to have in a Snake Mountain is the table. So let's take this bone throne away for now. And I kind of like the little skulls here, so I'm going to try to figure out something I can do with those. But I think that the bone throne that came with it is not nearly as nice as this bone throne. There we go. Let Skeletor hang out up here for a minute on that trout. And of course this is removable. And you can put it under here. See if we can make it snap into place. Alright. Skeletor can hang out over here for a minute. And let's find a victim. Man. So He-Man is going to come in and he's going to stand right here. Let's see if he goes down into that cage down there. Skeletor, I'm here. Hey man, you fool. Well, that's very interesting. So the trap doesn't spring with the cage in place. Is that the case? It appears to be. So let's take the cage back out of the way and we'll try this again. Trap door up, silly me. Alright, let's get that cage out of there. Put it over here to the side. Put it back in its little slot over here. Alright. Skeletor back there in the corner. Ready to taunt He-Man. He-Man's boot knife back in his boot. Alright, He-Man. It's time for you to get trapped. Oh! And of course, the other feature that we all know about. I'm sinking in the acid. No! That's pretty cool. Alright, let's turn the whole shebang around and let's play on the front side for a little while. So that's where the original Snake Mountain had all of its fun stuff, was on the front side. This piece lifts up, pops into place. We'll bring the whole playset around. We got real stairs that don't look like little bitty stairs. Here's the chains to chain somebody up. Let's take old man at arms here and chain his ass up. In the instructions, you have to remove their hands in order to get them into the cuffs. So, cuff number 1, hand number 1. Cuff number 2, and number 2. Let's see if, there we go. Now let's see if he's going to hang out up here. Yep. So he's chained up. Put Skeletor over here, and there's foot pegs up here so you can peg them in so that they stay in place. And I'm going to try out the foot pegs in these feet that I've got here on Skeletor and see if he pegs in place. Looks like he does. Pretty cool. Here comes He-Man. You fiend, Skeletor! Comes up here. And once again, he has to go sideways across the bridge because it's not wide enough. And now up the stairs he goes. And of course, you can have them walking up the stairs with a foot peg there. And he can come up here to fight Skeletor. And Skeletor can taunt him inside. And if he goes inside, he falls through the trap. So that's the new Snake Mountain, guys. And now there's a special way that everything has to be put away. This goes up here. Take the ladder, and we have to put it back here like this, and then put the jail cell up here, snap it in place, and the weapons rack goes right in here. This folds up. Put the bone thrown inside of the cage. The bone thrown inside. Close that back up again. And the old spider can go up here in this spot, which allows the whole thing to close. Everything comes back into place. And then we have our little claw hooks that snap into place. And now, Snake Mountain all closed up. And now, let's take a look and compare this Snake Mountain with the original. Here is the original Snake Mountain. Let's look at the two and see how they compare. Alright. And bringing this forward just a little bit. It's almost the same width, just a little bit wider, I think, the new one is. It's about the same height. Turn them around. We can see the other side where the snake is located. And as you can see, this ledge is higher than that ledge. We have real steps that you can walk up and down instead of these, whatever you want to call them. Got the vines hanging down here. The snake is different. So yeah, let's move the camera up just a little bit and let you guys see it. This is much taller. The trapdoor is located here on the outside on this one, whereas it's not on the outside on this one, it's actually on the inside. Pretty cool. So yeah, this looks slightly larger. So this looks about a little bit larger than this one, not by a whole lot, but just a little bit. But otherwise, pretty cool and pretty comparable. I think that the new Snake Mountain is going to be my new go-to Snake Mountain, and vintage can be put away. One of the things that I'm going to do here in the future is probably paint the snake, put some details on him. I may replace these with the chains like this from Talos Dream Shop. That's going to entail me removing these. They're not meant to be removed, but I think with a little bit of heat, I think they can be popped out. Shouldn't be a problem. We'll see what happens in the future. Everything looks pretty much comparable. I like it. I like it a lot. So the fact that this has the microphone in it, and this, I wish this one did, but the wolf head is much bigger and nicer, so, and it actually spins around. Yeah, I believe this is going to be our new Snake Mountain. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments below. And here's one final shot of the set with the blood falls added to it. Pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and good journey everyone.
Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.